Santiago Echeverry grew up in Bogota, Colombia, a city where the mafia was blowing up buildings and murdering people with drugs and bombs. AIDS was killing his friends, and death squads were threatening his life for being openly gay. Instead of seeking cover, he became a very visible new media artist, promoting change in his surroundings through video art, documentaries, performances, and political activism. How did you get into drag, and when did you start performing drag?
Back in 1989, my colleague and friend Constanza Camelo started doing performance art, and she used me as her object. And in one of her performances, she invited me to be wearing just a very transparent negligee, like nightgown, singing, lip-syncing to a song by a Spanish singer from the 1960s, Rocío Dúrcal. And I discovered that it was a very powerful way of stating a political position regarding sexual minorities, especially the gay community in Colombia, which is where I come from, my country.
I don't know why, but I'm feeling so sad. I long to try something I have never had. I've never had no kissing. Ooh, what have I been missing? Love, oh man, oh, where can you be? The night is cold and I'm so all alone.
So I kept on exploring that, and the big breaking point for me was when the watchman of the place where I used to work, the French embassy, told me that the night before he had witnessed how a sex worker that was a transgender sex worker had been murdered, and nobody wanted to pick up her body, and so she bled to death because she was not a real biological woman. She was pretty much a transvestite, as we used to call them back in the 1990s. And he made me realize that pretty much we were part, as the gay and lesbian community, but mostly the gay community, we were considered as a disposable group of people. So I started seeing drag as a political response. And how is it that from that political response I had to assume a responsibility in the reality of my country? And I needed to make a statement. So that's when I did my first appearance in drag in 1992 in one of my videos inspired by that experience, called Last Night a Transvestite Was Killed. And then after that, I kept on doing these performances in drag, and people were quite shocked because of the country, because of the culture, and because of the conservative tradition of the city where I come from, Bogota.
Anoche mataron un travesti en la carrera 15 con 93. El celador me contó que nunca había visto a nadie gritar así. Ningún carro quiso mancharse con la sangre de un marica. Nunca lo conocí, pero le decían Andrea.
Did you face backlash from your family and friends?
Back in 1993 was the first time I actually performed in public, and I appeared in public in drag. It was during the premiere of the festival, where I was at the premiere of my video, where I was presenting my video art about the murdered transvestite. People that would say hello to me every single day at work at the French embassy did not say hello, and after that they stopped saying hello to me. But at the same time, I didn't care. I had a commitment. I was completely committed to my country. I was completely committed to generating change, and that only motivated me to start the first association of gay students, to start the first gay and lesbian association in Colombia, to found the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence. So even though I came from a very conservative family, I had the big chance of being the last, by far, the last child. By far. My older brother was 12 years older, the other brother was 10 years older, so I grew up pretty much on my own. I had my life, I had my friends, I could do whatever I needed. And I stayed mostly out of trouble, mostly.
How long did you do drag for?
I started doing drag in 1993 officially, even though the experiences before that did count. And I did a ton of drag between 93 and 95. A lot of political performances, a lot of happenings, a lot of work, because we were extremely active trying to organize the gay community in Colombia. Then I moved to New York, and in New York it kind of stopped, even though I participated in a movie where I was a drag queen in a bar, and it was about prevention of violence towards different people, and especially transgender and drag queens back then. And then I came back to Colombia and I started doing drag heavily at the end of the 90s, 1998, 1999, up until 2003. And then after that I moved to the United States, and in the United States the things changed because it was in a different country, it was in a different situation, political situation, and I didn't see the need to really be a drag queen anymore because of the way drag queens are seen here. Here it's much more a form of entertainment, whereas in Colombia it's still a form of transgression. Very important for me to mention that Pate tik, which is my alter ego, was born in 1999, and then the last performance of Pate was here in the United States in 2009. So that was very much the last time I performed in drag.
When I said I needed you, you said you would always stay. It wasn't me who changed, but you.